I'm actually really surprised that there hasn't kind of been in the film version of set in the Victorian era like that.
Well, it's the history of the rights. Paramount Pictures have owned the film rights for countless years, and that's the only rights they have, and the book publication rights. Everything else, my dad and I were able to purchase from the estate of H.G. Wells. So we now have a contract with Paramount to make an animated feature. We had actually started before we began the tours, and that's why, if you've seen the show, you have this 103 minutes of what was commissioned.
Yeah, you can hold the adverts off till we're finished, it's all right.
We started on it before the tours, we were making an animated film. This tour around, we have brand new animation for the whole show.
How long we got?
We started again. One of the new ingredients, It's amazing how the technology changes the technique. So even in 4 years,
What we got?
that animation was made and used. Stuff has changed the way animation, the details, the 3D elements. So that I've been surprised how quickly.
30 seconds. 30 seconds, chaps.
Okay, just 30 seconds. Bullshit. Great bullshit. You get that. So you're okay. You haven't got both bossing you about, have you?
Oh, I wish I was true.
All right, coming out in 20 seconds. So that's Justin Hayward and Forever Autumn. That was the big single, I suppose, from the concept album, The War of the Worlds, Jeff Wayne's War of the Worlds, and Jeff joins me in the studio now. Jeff, I think Justin Hayward was in one of the shows I saw. Is he still doing it this year?
He's done every tour since we started in 2006 and is returning again.
He looks in great shape as well, doesn't he? Lots of hair, nice tan. How did you do that?
I try to figure it out every time I see him. He takes 4 hours to get his hair ready just for one show. And he is in good shape. He does a lot of running and a super guy. I've known him now, obviously since the War of the Worlds, and
Sure.
We've worked together on and off.
And did you create that part? Did you have him in mind for that character role?
The way the characters were all created came from adapting the book of H.G. Wells's, and I was composing at the same time, and by the time we had our cast of characters, we had this journalist, which was the role Richard played, Richard Burton, and he's recounting his story of survival some 6 years later for his newspaper. But there are moments in the story, as it unfolded, and with my score, where it was the sung thoughts of the journalist. And in the same way Richard's voice is timeless, it's a beautiful sound, I was hoping to meet a vocalist who would have the same qualities in his singing abilities, and I was a big fan of Moody Blues and the Blue Jays, which Justin duoed with John Lodge. And I thought, gosh, if I could get to Justin, he might be interested in being the sung thoughts of the journalist, and that's one of the tracks for Forever Autumn, and the other is the opening theme, The Year of the War, which he sang on as well.
At the big in December, 10th and 11th of December, you're at the big with the big show. You've got Jason Donovan.
Yes, indeed. Jason is going to play the artilleryman. He's one of 3 new guest artists that are playing roles. So Jason is one of them. And then we have Rydian, who's going to play the part that Phil Lynott played, Parson Nathaniel, and his wife on stage, Beth, will be played by Atomic Kitten's Liz McLarnon.
Goodness me, so it's always evolving, isn't it?
Indeed, it's both in characters, but also the production itself. The one that we're doing on this next tour will have ingredients that haven't been seen before. In fact, I think we've added and opened up the show in visual terms and effects more on this production than all 3 previous ones. And each one has had quite a bit added, so we're keeping our fingers crossed everything works.
Sure. I mean, 2 abiding memories I have from watching the show is the large hologram of Richard Burton's voice speaking, which is very clever. I'm asking about that. And the fighting machine on stage, which is the Martian fighting machine. They seem to be the 2 big props that stick in my mind.
Well, I guess they're very iconic. Anybody who knows the album knows that Richard recorded the role originally, and we were thrilled to be able to bring him to life, so to speak.
Yeah. Is he irreplaceable, do you think? Do you ever see his role being replaced?
Well, I think it's not so much replacing his role. If anything, what we possibly might do in the future is to do like a new generation recording, where we compare the artists of the day with those that did the original, the classic version of it, and it might be an interesting thing to do. But at this moment, Richard's our man, just as Justin and Chris Thompson were on the album with me, are still touring with us, so it's a mixture of the old original artists. I don't mean old in age, but just in the original form, and 2 or 3 new guest artists each time we tour.
Yeah. I mean, apart from the obvious great sounds, it's a very visual event too, isn't it? There's lots going on. Is that difficult to control when there's so much going on?
Well, one of the things that I think we have found that has appealed to audiences and the critics is the way that we've synchronized everything. And it comes down to technology. Time code is the technology that links everything together. So the time code links all the, whether it's the holographic performance of Richard Burton or our Martian fighting machine that you just mentioned, which is quite an engineering feat. It's over 35 feet tall, weighs just past 3 tons, and as it lands on stage about half an hour into the story, firing its heat ray at the audience and scanning them with its bug-like eyes, that too is linked to a time code, amongst all the other things that have become part of the production. But the band, the Symphonic String Orchestra, myself as the conductor, that time code is translated into a click, which is in our in-ear monitors, so that we hear not only the sound of the music and the live performances, but we hear this click, so that everything is in perfect synchronization.
Right.
And it gets even a bit trickier than that, Peter, just to explain, because Richard, of course, has a holographic performance and linked to the time code. He's in the precise place, obviously, 77 times in the show. He never is late. He's never early. He's dead on time. But the guest artists who are live on stage and in several parts of the show, they're actually performing with him now. We've advanced the technology of the motion capture hologram to where he's turned to them when in the scenes that he's in with them. And they have to be in the right place, otherwise they could be either talking over him or huge pregnant pauses because they haven't gotten their cues and their timings right.
Do they have the time click in there?
They have the same clicks. They have a mix of the music, which we're all performing live, and some of them have specific cues which are particular to their needs, which we create for them so they can hear anything that they particularly want. So the role of Beth, the parson's wife, is a tricky entrance note.
Yeah.
And we found this even when I